Today we're doing a little Q&A to celebrate 10k. Us guys hitting 10k subscribers. 3, 2, 1, let's do this. Hi, my name is Maciej, and on this channel we talk about fragrances. So if you're interested in that topic, press that subscribe button and the notification bell because you won't get notified of my videos if you don't press the notification bell. And let's get on with today's video. My first ever Q&A, and I'm so excited to actually answer your questions that you've left in my community tab because I have asked you for them on my community tab. If you don't know what community tab is, if you go into my channel, there's little tabs at the top, and when you click community tab, there I post sometimes photos, sometimes I ask you questions, sometimes I ask you what videos you would like. So definitely check out that to be more of a influence on my content, and I love to converse with you guys there. I also wanted to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being on this channel, for subscribing. This is crazy. 4 months ago, me and Em sat in our living room and said, let's do this together. Let's put our two heads together, his editing style and my love and passion for fragrance, and let's make a channel. And I must admit, when I said I want to hit 10k by the end of March, Em was a bit like, whoa girl, that's like crazy. He was a bit skeptical, but it's just amazing that happened. Sometimes when you put that in universe, it just happens. And of course, with hard work from us guys and providing you with some good content, it happens. So thank you so much for subscribing, for supporting me. I don't take it for granted. It is so valuable to me to actually see that I can share my passion with you guys and help you guys with some of your purchases. I also want to say that I literally have the best audience ever. I do appreciate that you guys communicate in a very polite and in a great manner. Just looking at the video where I said, 10 fragrances that I don't like or something like that. You guys, even if you don't agree, you always communicate things respectfully, and I just love that because it's such a valuable thing to do on the internet, especially where there's sometimes negativity. You guys are awesome, and thank you for being such a positive online community. I've got a lot of comments here. I've got 94 comments. I'm just going to briefly go through some of your comments. So the first comment is from Patrick Davis, and he says, what started your fragrance journey? So what started my fragrance journey is really my love for scent. From when I was growing up, I was always very, very sensitive to scents, and I loved fragrance, but I also equally hated bad smells. And I remember distinctively this one trip where I must have been 6 or 7 or something like that, where we went on a fishing trip with my family. And after that, I handled fish, we were fishing. I was cleaning my hands and washing my hands 3 times over and over. And my mom was like, what is happening? Why are you washing your hands all the time? And I said, I can still smell fish on my hands and I want to get rid of it. And she was like, oh, you're ridiculous. Once is enough. I can't smell anything on my hands, but I could smell it literally the whole day and some of the next day. So I realized very quickly that I'm so sensitive to smells, and my family would be always very aware of that. So I just started smelling loads of fragrances from there because I just enjoyed the sense of smell. So I hope that answers your question. Unboxing Prime says, hi Monica, hello. I am new in your YouTube channel, and I'm glad to find it. You're a very good fragrance reviewer. Thank you. I want you, I guess, to make a video with discounters in EU to buy original perfumes. So I'll definitely will make a video like this. I admit I have mainly been buying from original websites that sell retailers that are John Lewis, Selfridges, all of those in the UK. So I need to purchase more from discounters and really see how my experience is. But I'll definitely make that video because I think it's valuable. Richard 4079 says, what was your first fragrance and what was the first fragrance you purchased? The fragrance that I purchased from my first money that I earned myself when I was 16, I bought myself Chanel, what is it called? Chanel Chance Tendre or Tendre Eau de Toilette. And that is one fragrance that it's me, because it was first fragrance I bought for myself and I have worn it for such a long time. It reminds me of like my fragrance journey. It's just so me. Like this fragrance is just really me. If I had to pick a fragrance that would just smell like me and in its notes and like everything, I would probably choose that fragrance. I love Chanel fragrances. Sergiu S says, hey, I would like to know your opinion about Dior, Ambre, Nuit and ATH fragrances, which is Aaron Turns Hughes fragrances. Greetings from Romania. I do love Ambre Nuit and it's actually on my list. I also like 40 Knots from Zerzhov, which is a very similar fragrance, a bit cheaper, so I might buy that one first and then Ambre Nuit. They're both very elegant, beautiful fragrances, truly unisex. If you haven't smelled it, definitely smell it because wow, they just have this transparency over the top in the opening that it just, whoa, it's excellent. And especially for like spring and summer, those fragrances are, I'll link them down below. They're excellent. They're on my to buy list. And what is your opinion about Aaron Terence Hughes' fragrances? I have actually tested nearly all of them actually, and my favorites are Onyx, which I think is discontinued or maybe it will be available to buy later, but it's Onyx, Boss Bitch, Blood Orange, and Arabica. Those are my favorites, so definitely check them out. I also have just filmed a video with Aaron where I picked my favorites and talked about why I have chosen those on Aaron's channel. So I will also link that down below because I think it will get posted soon. Jimmy Choi says, what is your favorite, your number one men's fragrance? At the moment, because it changes all the time, I have to say it's probably Allure Homme Sport Extreme. That fragrance is my love and I just passionately love it at the moment. Sympatology says, do you feel more Polish or British? ? And how did you and Maciej meet? So if you didn't know, I am 100% Polish, but I live in the UK and it's hard to say whether I feel more Polish or British because I moved when I was quite young. My adult life has been in the UK mostly, but my childhood has been in Poland. So I think when I go back to Poland, I had this nostalgia of Poland and loads of like food and things and culture, and I love it. I love my Polish background, but at the same time, with the way I am, I have been influenced by the British culture, so I'm like a mix of both, and I think I don't feel like either really. I feel like a mix, so not just one or the other. And also, how did you and Maciej meet? We met at a summer camp in Poland, which was lovely. The Sent One says, congratulations and much deserved. Thank you so much. You and Maciej are smashing it. Thank you. Do you think there is an inequality in regards to the amount of tube fragrance content aimed at men? Do you think there is a bigger ratio of men frag heads? There just doesn't seem as much content for women maybe. Just a thought. Maybe it's because I haven't looked for it that much also. I think there's definitely more men in the fragrance industry and more fragrance reviewers, people that just focus on fragrances. I think that's why I also do reviews of men's fragrances, because I feel like fragrance for men is the same as beauty or makeup for women, and there's a huge community of beauty content creators, and I feel like there's not as much of that for men, and I just feel like it's an interesting point of view for a woman to do fragrance reviews of men's fragrances, and I do actually mostly prefer men's fragrances, so I do feel like there's inequality in that field, but at the same time I think men watch those videos more, so I think there would have to be more females that actually come out and want to watch loads of fragrance reviews. David Hyde asks, well done, thank you. Thoughts on the new freeze on the U line from Armani? So I have tested the male version of the freeze by Giorgio Armani. I like it, but I don't love it at the moment from first impressions from wearing it on my skin all day. It's not my favorite. Next one is a question from I'm Nameless, Not Painless. Great name. Would you ever consider or want to create your very own fragrance? You'll have to wait and see, and I'll have to wait and see, because I don't know what the future holds. I think it would be such a fun process to do, but it's something, I just started this fragrance journey and I don't even when somebody asks me that question, I'm like, where would I even start? So I think it would be a fun thing, a fun project for me to do. But I think if I was doing that, I would want to make sure it would have my stamp of approval on it, like from the fragrance to the concept to the website, the graphics, the quality of everything, because I do really enjoy high quality things. So I think it would take a very long time. But yeah, it's definitely something that I would be open to. I just don't know whether that's in my cards for the future. So no pressure, maybe not. Would you like to see a fragrance from me, guys? Let me know. Miller Hayliffy says, what do you call your hair color? Well, I had the same color and I still don't know what it's called. That's so funny. It's like a question that you really want answered. I think I would call my hair dark blonde or mousy brownie blonde, something like that. It's just a nice color, so we've got very nice hair. Another question is from Sensei, Mist of Furry, and he says, my question for you is, which Tom Ford fragrance do you find sexiest on a man? I would say it would have to be probably Tobacco Vanille, or I do enjoy Belle du Jour quite a lot. It's like a fougère fragrance, which it smells a bit old-fashioned, but I think it's beautiful. I do really like it. And Black Orchid for sure. It's so powerful. It's a powerhouse, and I think it's sexy for me. I know that not every woman thinks it's sexy, but for me, it's a sexy fragrance. So those two mostly. So Vanille, not Vanille Fatale, Tobacco Vanille, and Black Orchid. Jennifer Latifa asks, what was your first favorite fragrance or signature? So again, it was Chanel Chance Tendre, and I love that fragrance. I wore it every single day to school. It's still, when I wear it, it still reminds me of like me. It's just so me, and whenever I wear it, my husband is like, oh my gosh, you smell so good. Such a pretty, elegant, soft fragrance, and I think it just speaks to my soul. It's just so comfortable, cozy, and beautiful. I just love it. I just love it so much. This is an interesting one. James Kelly says, question, what books do you recommend for newbies to the subject of fragrance? I do love some fragrance books. The list of perfumes, like the 2018 to 2019, I've got that book that gives you like quick descriptions of loads, like hundreds and hundreds of perfumes. So that is quite good to like get to know new fragrances and whether you think you would like them. I'll link it down below. I don't know on the top of my head like what is the exact name of it. And also The Essence of Perfume by Roger Dove. I really love that book. It gives you the story of fragrance and everything. It's a beautiful book to have, like a coffee book too. So I'll link that down below too. That's great to start your fragrance journey and just learn a bit more about fragrance and why it started. Another question is from Danny Young Puya Das, And he says, you seem tall. May I ask your height? I'm 173 or 5'8". John Sever asks, how long have you been in the UK? And it's hard for me to actually count. Around 11 to 12 years. So quite a long time. That is why my accent has got that British twang thingy. Serhat says, what is your favorite dessert since you love gourmand? And congrats, thank you so much. And actually my favorite dessert, and I'm not a sweet tooth, is donuts or pączki in Poland. And I love, but I don't eat them very often because if I did, I would be very, very large. But I love them so much. If you haven't had a Polish donut, you absolutely have to, you know? You just have to, okay? Faith Aslan asks, I wonder if you think about making videos about Zara perfumes. They're clones and they're much cheaper. I have mentioned one clone of Le Labo Santal 33, and that is Zara's Sandalwood, and it's from the Overdose collection, and it's excellent. But I'm not the biggest fan of like all the Zara fragrances, so I will mention them if I like something and I think it's worth mentioning, but that one's definitely worth checking out. Alex Mokoto says, when will you do a Zoologist and Creed top 10 or 5? So with Zoologist, I only have them available in London and I'm not actually familiar with all of the fragrances, so I can't possibly do a video yet. But for Creed, I'll definitely do one because I've got a whole list of my thoughts about Creed, and I do keep a little list of each one that I smell, and then I make my notes on fragrances and I keep them in my notes so that I've got them there for future videos. I hope you got to know me a bit better. I really enjoyed this video and actually conversing with you guys. I post every Monday and Thursday and occasionally on a Saturday, so if you like videos on Saturday, press that thumbs up button for me to post more on Saturdays. Remember, if you love it, you can wear it no matter what the marketing peeps are telling you. Just wear what you want, and I'll see you all again very soon. And again, thank you for 10k. I can't believe it. Bye guys. You know, some of the woody fragrances are like some of the more oily ones. When you rub it on your skin, do you feel like it can make it like disrupt the molecules more because it's oily?
So there's a caveat in this.
Yeah.
So majority of this, if a fragrance is aroma chemicals and if a fragrance is built well,